You've heard this many times. Nobody is perfect. It floats like truth in songs, advice, and excuses, traveling from lips to ears like whispers of comfort, as if imperfection is our shelter from shame. But what if the real imperfection is believing that you're not? What if thinking you're broken is the root of your suffering? From the beginning, you were trained to fix, strive, improve. You learned to tie your worth to outcomes, tests, trophies, to measure value based on approval rather than truth. The lessons came subtly at first. You'll be worthy when perfection means flawlessness, yet the flaw wasn't in you. It was in the script, a story carved by hands afraid of your wildness, hands that taught you to shrink where you once expanded. But the soul doesn't work through achievement. It doesn't play by these rules. It doesn't need conditions. It doesn't wait to be granted worth. The soul simply is. Look at nature. A cracked rock doesn't apologize. A bent tree doesn't try to stand straighter. No bird sings its notes twice for fear it was out of tune the first time. The wind doesn't ask if it's useful, and the moon never wonders if it's bright enough tonight. Everything exists in alignment with essence, not standards. Perfection is alignment, not polish or symmetry or approval. Life isn't trying to be perfect. It already is. It's your mind. No, not your mind, but the trained perception within it that was taught to miss it. You don't see the world as it is. You see the world through how you've been taught to judge it. You inherited borrowed filters, ideas of better, ideas of less, but they didn't belong to you, and yet they cloud your vision still. Your eyes are clean, but the lens is smudged with old fingerprints of expectation, comparison, rejection. And in this frame of judgment, perfection becomes the shape you're afraid you don't fit. But the frame itself was never actually yours. The ego draws boundaries. Here is where I end. Here is where divinity begins. Here is good. There must be better. But those lines never existed. They were made of assumptions, wrapped in dust. And it takes only a moment, only the quiet breath of awareness, to see them blown away. You were never outside, trying to get in. You were never broken, waiting to be fixed. You were always the whole, perfectly imagining you weren't. You ask how to become whole, and you search for answers as if the question holds a key. But the question only exists if you forget what lies beneath it. The real question is not how, it's when. When did I stop seeing what was already in me? You don't need to chase. You don't need to add. You don't need to change. You need only to see from a place that doesn't compare, doesn't demand, doesn't measure or label. To see from the place that simply, quietly remembers. We believe there's a doorway, a separation between what we are and what we wish to become. And so we search, tirelessly, crafting rituals and methods, guarding keys we could never use. But the doorway was never there. Perfection can't be unlocked. Yet it unfolds the moment you let go of the idea that something needed unlocking at all. There has never been a barrier. There is only the breath, soft and spacious, reminding you of what is already alive. The system doesn't want you free. It profits from your doubt, sells perfection as a product. It needs you to believe you're incomplete, lacking, in need of repairs. But do not let a broken frame dictate your worth. Do not confuse the mold with your essence. You weren't born to fit. You were born to embody, to express the radiance that no shape could ever contain. You're not here to repair yourself. You're here to remember what's eternal. Perfection isn't something waiting at the end of the path. It isn't something gained, polished, or earned. Perfection is what remains when all noise dissolves. It's what's left when striving ends and reaching disappears. And now that you can see it, you'll know that it was always there,